Welcome to the official Newport City YouTube channel and welcome to the new Newport City manager. It's a man you might recognise. He's quite well known in the Newport footballing community, almost 300 appearances for the Amber Army. It is, of course, the one and only Robbie Willmott. Robbie, how are you doing today?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, happy to be here.
I'm very glad you are. First of all, have to ask you, why Newport City and why now?
I think for me it was, I played a lot of games. I think I played sort of like 800 games, and it was getting to the point where body was hurting and breaking down a little bit, and I didn't want to carry on for the sake of carrying on, almost trying to flog myself a little bit. And I spoke to Barry at the end of the season and just said, like, look, offered me a great deal to stay, and I just said I didn't feel comfortable taking the contract when I felt I couldn't fulfill it to my potential of what I feel I could play. And then the management thing come along. I've always been interested in doing it. And then luckily for me, Mike asked me down for an interview, and everything that he said about the football club, how ambitious it is, the project of it, it was something that I was really appealed to me, and I couldn't wait to sort of get going on.
Well, we'll get going in terms of what you want at the club in a while, but I have to ask you, was the Newport connection the thing that sealed it for you in the end?
I think so, yeah. Look, I moved back here in 2017 and just completely fell in love with the community, and obviously had a massive affiliation with Newport County, the supporters there, and I've lived here ever since, and to have that sort of connection. I know Spitty Park well, trained there thousands of times and played there and everything like that, and yeah, it was a massive part of why I come here.
I was going to say as well, the running track, obviously at Jenner Park, you'll be used to that, Spitty as well.
Yeah, I'm sure the boys will get used to that for pre-season, so we'll be using that.
So you've had a long and storied career, and it would be remiss of me not to touch upon some of the moments. Obviously played for Newport, but also the likes of Cambridge United at the start of your career, among others. Do you think that suits you well in terms of a Welsh second division team, perhaps at the start of your management career?
I think so, yeah. I think for me, like you said, I've had a long career. I've played under some fantastic managers, and I'm able to try and shape myself that way as a coach and take bits from each manager I played under. I played under some really successful coaches as well, and I think for me I don't mind what level I come in at. I'm not a manager that's going to be stuck up about where I start or anything like that. But the club's got great ambitions. It's got great facilities, and it's the ideal place for me to start.
Let's turn the focus on you as a manager. How would you describe yourself as a boss?
I think for me as a manager, I think ultimately I've got to be calm. And yeah, like my man management's got to be on point. I think for me the most important thing is man management. I think we've got to keep these players happy. When players are happy and they're confident, that you'll see the best out of those players. So that's something I've learned in my career is, listen, you can coach them as much as you want and tactically and stuff like that, but keeping them happy is the main focus. So yeah, for me it's more about just keeping calm, keeping relaxed, and listening to everyone around me, even the players and my coaching staff that I'll have, because we all see the game differently. So again, it'll be, I need opinions in the changing room around the coaching staff, so we can get everything right.
And I want to touch on the spell at Barry you had as well, so that's where you ended your career. Did you get more of a grasp of the sort of Welsh league system when you were there? Because obviously it was the first time you'd ever taken the plunge into the pyramid.
I think, I'll be honest, when I signed there first, I couldn't understand the Welsh system at all. It took me a couple of weeks to get to grips with how it all worked and things like that, because obviously the English system is completely different. But yeah, I travelled around the leagues, around the clubs, the stadiums and everything like that, and managed to grasp the concept of the league and how much everyone loves the sort of lower leagues of Welsh football, and how much everyone puts into it.
And how exciting is it to start that journey in a city like Newport?
Yeah, I couldn't be happier, honestly. I was absolutely over the moon when Mike gave me the call to say that I'd be taking over, and yeah, hopefully we can pull in a few more supporters, whether they're from the Amber Army, and obviously Newport County haven't got a game and stuff like that. And that's one of my big ambitions, is to grow the fan base of Newport City, and hopefully get more of the community involved around Spitty Park, and make it a real good atmosphere on match days for the boys.
Well, you have touched upon my next question there, actually. What are your aspirations at Newport City in the next, well, however long you're there, I suppose?
I think ultimately, like, I've taken this job to be successful. I haven't taken this job just for the sake of getting into management. I want to be successful at this. Like I said, I want to get the community involved with it. I want more supporters to come down and watch the lads, bigger match atmospheres for everyone. And I want to progress players. I want to, young players, progress them, help them on to the next journeys in their careers, give them a helping hand in their careers, and just try and give them, maybe an arm over the shoulder when they need it, and take little bits from my career, what I felt I needed at certain times. And obviously we've got a great 18s and 21s program as well. So I'd like to integrate them as much as possible, but again, you've got to come in, you've got to earn your opportunity. I think for me, I'm not going to be a manager that's going to give out debuts for the sake of it. You've got to come in, you've got to earn your spot, earn your right, and then you'll get your opportunities under me.
So Newport City finished 10th in the Cymru South last season. Did you know much about the history going into this job?
I did. So obviously at County, I try to keep an eye on the local sort of sides and stuff like that, and see that they had such great success the last few years. Obviously the social media side of it really blew up as well. So I'm someone that likes to take notice at things like that. So I was majorly invested in the YouTube stuff, watching that. I watched the video going to Valencia and things like that. So yeah, I saw the history of the club, the players. That's something that I've done my homework on the football club as well. From last season, it's a tough season, but I managed to sit down before I took over, watch all the games, so I had a better understanding of maybe where things went a little bit wrong on the pitch, and gave myself a better understanding of the players from last season as well.
So you are just turning 35 this year. Do you still think that's quite young for a manager, or do you think it's becoming more normal in football these days?
36 soon.
I apologize.
Yeah, on the 16th. No, do you know what? I thought that everyone's getting younger, to be honest. Yeah, like the Brighton manager, I think he's only 33, and he's in the Premier League. So I think more and more owners are giving sort of younger coaches opportunities. The Llandudno manager I think he was 24 when he got promoted this season, and he's done an incredible job. So yeah, for me, I couldn't go into this any earlier. Obviously, my career was there. I was still playing, but yeah, I think this is the ideal age for me to get into this.
And in terms of sort of managing, how are you expecting it to go? You confident? You optimistic?
Yeah, I think throughout my career I've been confident. Confident in my abilities as a player, and confident in my abilities as a manager. Like I said, I've played under some really great coaches, some really great managers, and I just want to take little bits from each of those, which I think will stand me in good stead. And like I said, if we can get the recruitment right in how we want to do it, then yeah, I think we can be successful at this.
So I suppose the last question I want to ask you, you've had a long career in football, and if you think back to starting at, I don't know, Buntingford Towns in the 16s or wherever you came from, did you ever think you would end up here managing a Welsh team at the ripe old age of 36?
I didn't. I honestly didn't. I think I thought I could play forever. I thought I was invincible. So I think for me, I was always planning to just carry on, and you get to a point where I've got my own family, and sort of maybe enough was enough of the playing side, and they've been really supportive of me and going into this. But yeah, looking back at when I made my debut at 17, did I ever think that I'd be manager of a Welsh side? Never thought I'd even move to Wales, to be honest. But it's probably shaped my career and how it has, how long I've spent here, played with some amazing players at County, obviously, and yeah, like I said, I couldn't be happier to be manager of Newport City.
Robbie, thank you so much
Thank you.
for sitting down today. I hope everyone there knows a bit more about you now as a manager and what you expect in the next season.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Up the Steelmen.